O'Connor 233 84689. This is my EN 4046 IEP presentation. What is an IEP? It's a written plan for a specific student with specific educational or special educational needs. It outlines learning goals, teaching strategies, supports and resources. It's developed over a set period of time. And it's also a key part of inclusive education in Ireland. What is the purpose of an IEP? It supports individual learning needs, promotes inclusion in mainstream education, sets clear, measurable goals, helps track student progress, and encourages collaboration between school and home. It's not just academic, it's also social and emotional, and it helps teachers plan effectively. What does EPSEN Act say about IEPs or any other government document? The EPSEN Act 2004 states that there's a right to an education plan for students with special education needs. It emphasises individual support and a regular review of progress, and it's supported by NCSE Guidelines 2013, where they stated, "We believe that the EPSEN Act 2004 continues to offer the most effective route to assessment and educational planning for children with special educational needs." The EPSEN is the key legal framework, but it's not fully implemented, but it's still very important. Who is involved in developing an IEP? So the student, their own student voice, parents, guardians, class teachers, special education coordinator in the school, the SNAs, school principal, and external professionals such as psychologists, therapists, and GPs. Collaboration is essential, and the student should always be included where possible. So the process of developing an IEP. So you've assess, plan, implement, and evaluate. So for assess, you're gathering information about the student's academic ability, their social emotional needs and behaviour, so identify their strengths and needs. Then for plan, you create the IEP based on assessment. So you want to set SMART targets, so specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. You will decide teaching strategies and set out your supports, so SNAs, assistive technology, any other supports that could be used or that are relevant. And you want to involve as many people in the IEP as possible, so parents, students, doctors, that kind of thing. Implement, then you actually put the IEP into place. So you provide the supports and strategies, so include your differentiation, scaffolding, visual supports, assistive technology, any support that is necessary for the student to progress. And evaluate, then you review the progress and update your plan. So you adjust your targets, your strategies, and your level of support depending on how the student is doing. So then examples of IEP targets. So if a student had difficulty with reading comprehension, you might set in a target that the student will identify the main idea in a short paragraph, supports, visual aids, pre-teaching vocabulary, use of audiobooks, things like that. The second one, so numeracy difficulty, so difficulty with basic number operations. So you might set a target that the student will correctly complete addition problems up to 20 in 4 out of 5 attempts. That's your specific and measurable. Achievable as well. Uh, so use supports, then use of an abacus or counters, step-by-step instruction and small group teaching. Behavior, then, so the student might have difficulty staying on task. You might set a target, the student will remain on task for 10 minutes with one reminder in 4 out of 5 lessons. There's your SMART. Supports then might be movement breaks, visual timer, and a reward system. And then communication examples, so a student might find it difficult or have difficulty with social interaction. So you might set a target, the student will initiate a conversation with a peer once per day, possibly using a prompt or without a prompt. Supports for that then are social stories, role play activities, and visual communication supports. IEPs include specific measurable targets supported by appropriate strategies to meet the individual needs of the student.